Hey y'all, this is the Twin Rivers Music Scene podcast with your host Madison
and Reed. We're here to highlight local and upcoming musicians in and around New Braunfels, Texas.
We believe the Texas and Americana music scene is what truly makes this town special, and we are so excited to provide a platform for y'all to hear straight from the artists themselves.
We hope y'all enjoy the Twin Rivers Music Scene podcast and stay tuned for more interviews posted every other Friday.
No venue too far, any song at every bar. Here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.
This next artist is a talented singer-songwriter out of Georgia who is making a name for himself across the Texas music scene. Known for his powerful voice, honest songwriting, and the kind of stage presence that keeps crowds locked in from the first note to the last, he brings a natural energy to every performance. His music reflects real-life experiences, the highs, the lows, and everything in between, delivered with the kind of honesty and passion that fans of the genre truly appreciate. We're glad we got the chance to catch him live and sit down with him during his Texas bar run. Twin Rivers Music Scene is delighted to introduce Cody Bolden to the podcast.
Yeah.
Woohoo, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Of course. What's funny is Cody and I actually met in Riley's like randomly a year ago. You were just in here playing pool, I think.
I was, yeah. I came in. I think actually I played over at the Villa that Sunday, and I hadn't, I'd heard about Riley's, but I've never been. So I was like, let me just stop through. I was staying with a friend over in San Marcos, and I came through, and I think you were working the bar.
Yeah, small world.
Yeah.
Full circle moment.
And then Cody also played a show here the other night, and you're on a Texas run right now. Can you tell us about where you're going and where you've been the past couple weeks?
Sure, yeah. So I'm here for 3 weeks. I'm doing a week of solo shows, and then a week with the band, and then another week of solo shows. I started here on Wednesday at Riley's, and then played Thursday at Pootie's Roadhouse in Spicewood, last night at Duets in Martindale, and then tomorrow at the Villa, and Monday at Green Hall, and then, do you want me to? I can go through all of them.
Right, all of them.
I mean, I got them.
Well, this will air after, but that's very impressive that you have it like in your head like that already.
Yeah.
I know, you're like ready. Do you book your own shows?
I do, yeah. So I just, I've been playing music part-time for about 5 or 6 years, and then starting in January came into it full-time. Hence why I can come out here and spend 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
And I've done, I'm totally independent, so do all the booking, do all the stuff. Now that I'm in it full time, my wife actually just came on, so she's doing a lot of the booking stuff now. It's hard to forget them when you have to call 15 times to get it.
Right.
Actually, one of the things I appreciate about the Texas scene is a lot of times it's somebody that's working at that bar that's actually booking it. Where I'm at is a lot of third-party stuff, and you don't really get that connection. So they have no real reason to get back with you unless y'all have met before. Whereas out here, I can just I'd like to play Riley's. I'll call the bar or just do a little bit of research and email in, and you're actually speaking with somebody that can help you out. So.
Yeah, it's probably a lot quicker.
Yes.
Can you tell us, when you're booking, because you're in Texas, obviously you're doing the Texas run,
right.
What that goes into it with planning a tour?
Yeah. So a lot of it's routing, and a lot of it too is just kind of watching where a lot of my peers are playing and kind of just seeing what they're doing and where they're going. A lot of times that helps kind of weed out the type of place I'm looking for, which really a place like this is perfect for me. I mean, this is the kind of bars I grew up when I could start going to bars that I went to, and they're dying out where we're at. I mean, I would imagine they're kind of slowly dying out everywhere. But a lot of it's routing, making sure it makes sense money-wise to go and play the place, and that I'm not traveling 4 hours for a $5 bar tab and losing my everything on it. So routing is big, atmosphere is big. And then trying to, I understand too, at this level I'm at in the 3-hour bar gigs, I can't go in and play 3 hours of original music of songs that nobody's ever heard before. So it's kind of a give and take and understanding that.
Totally.
I like that your band's little punchline is country music you'll likely listen to.
Yeah.
It's on my hat right now because this is the most complimented hat I've ever worn since I got at your show last year. But that's a good point because, like, yeah, you're introducing people to your original music that haven't gotten a chance to see you yet, but you're bringing in a lot of great covers that, like, embody your sound in that way, too.
Right, and I think it's important, too. I've always felt, when you first start playing, you kind of are really just reenacting the songs you like, and then you start to find some originality. It's always been important to me to play the covers, but I'm not going to do it the same way that it's been done because I'm not going to do it as well as the original artist did it. So I'd rather do it my way, and then, too, it kind of opens the door for when I bring in an original. It's not that far off of what I did from the cover because the cover and my originals aren't that far apart. So it kind of keeps that door open as well.
Totally. I feel like the artists, too, when you play, like, a song that they like, even if they haven't heard you before, but they know the song that you're playing and you have your own authentic spin on it.
Right.
I think that really grabs people, too, to be like, oh, okay, wait. Like, let me
He's
listen
like
to
me.
his, let me listen to his original stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's good.
So being from Georgia, you said you're from a little bit outside of Atlanta, correct, earlier? What brought you to Texas specifically? Like, why aren't you doing more runs in, like, North Carolina or South Carolina or, like, somewhere more regional to that?
Yeah, that's an easy one. So, I mean, really, you can play so much more out here than you can play where I'm at. So, taking that back, like, years before I even started coming out here. So I've been coming out to Texas for about 3 years, usually once in the spring, once in the fall. But any band that I saw that I would go and watch in Atlanta that was touring through from Texas just was smoking ass. I mean, the band was just on fire compared to a lot of the other ones, but it's because, at least in my opinion, it's because they can play 5 and 6 nights a week. Realistically, where I'm at, if you're playing like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's a pretty good run. Maybe Sunday, but like here to get a Wednesday gig or even like Monday at Green Hall, that's not even an option where I'm at because this is all just what I think I've figured out. But I think here, people go to a place like Riley's or like anywhere else and expect to hear live music. Like that's just part of the deal. That's what you grew up doing. Where I'm at, it's not the same. I mean, people are just as good with hearing, the juke. It's not a jukebox. Touch tunes. They'd be just fine with me sitting up there playing on the stage, or they would actually prefer to do a touch tune so they could hear what they wanted to hear. Whereas out here, there's a lot more of an appreciation for live music, and I think it goes both ways in the sense of, especially if you're playing somewhere like Watering Hole Saloon, where it's more of a dance hall, you have to give that back as well because they are there to dance. So you need to be playing things that they can dance to as well. So that's why originally I came up, because we could come out and make I could come out for 8 days and play 8 or maybe even 9 shows. Sometimes we pack in 2 in a day, and because live music is valued here, the money is better too. So it makes more sense for me to drive that 1,000 miles to get out here, and 1,000 miles to get back and pay to stay out here because the pay is better. And it's not so argumentative. I feel like you're not fighting for your life to get the pay out here like you are. Like, we are worth it, I swear.
I promise we deserve to be here.
Yes,
I don't have to advocate as hard.
Right.
So you started playing music more seriously in your 20s, correct?
Yep.
And then you just kind of said, I think it was off camera, but you just recently kind of pivoted full time.
Yep.
What was that like, making that switch to commit to doing this full time?
Yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of the scoop from the beginning. So my wife and I owned a place called Pie Bar, which is a pie shop. We had like apple pie, pecan pie.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so when we started that when we were 25 in 2015, and I didn't grow up in a musical household in terms of like people that actually played instruments. Both my mom and dad sing to the radio and karaoke and all that stuff, but it just wasn't one of those things where you just go pick up a guitar and play. And we had a pie shop, and then right next to our pie shop, and the same year we opened, they started building a music venue. And it kind of just kicked off this thing for me where I was right next to the music all the time. So I started picking up guitar then and kind of playing on and off. And then this year, just to give you that transition, we sold the pie shop in October of last year. That kind of was able to just propel. We just kind of got to that point. So I'm 35. I'll be 36 actually in a couple of days.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah, thank you. I've got a almost 3-year-old and a little over a 1-year-old.
Oh, nice.
So we just kind of hit that phase of our life where it was everything was great with the pie shop. It was a good sell, but it was just kind of time to move on and to be realistic. If I was going to take music on, now was the time to do it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what kicked it all off. Yeah, so it's definitely as scary as anything else, but what is life if you're not doing the things you want to do? So we'll see.
That's cool. I would love to know about the pie shop. Did y'all start it with like family recipes or something, or is your wife a baker?
She is. So no real family recipes in terms of like there's this heirloom of a recipe book that passed down. But again, we started dating in high school. We've been together through college, and then after college got married. And just I was working in construction, and she was working at the governor's office in Atlanta. And 2 or 3 years had gone by, and we were fine, but we weren't like ecstatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, we're just going to do this for the rest of our life. And it just got to the point where she started taking on things and started doing farmers markets, making pies. She just, it was going to be something. We didn't know if it was going to be pie or clothes or what. We had no idea. It was just going to be something different than what we were doing. And the idea was, whatever. If we quit our jobs and shit hits the fan, we'll just get a job again and pay off the loan that we took out to start the pie shop. And that never happened. So we started in late 2015. And, kind of just slowly figured it out. It was just me and her for a little while, and then we started adding on employees, and then, things got rolling well, and then COVID hit, which was its own wrench, which kind of made us pivot a little bit. But we had one store in Woodstock, which is, just south of Canton, but north of Marietta. And then after COVID, we kind of tried to put the plan into high gear. So we opened a Marietta store, and then we opened a Kennesaw store.
Nice.
And then, too, some things happened last year that just kind of kicked off this whole other thing, where it was that same mindset that when we opened the pie shop of like, are we going to do this for the rest of our life, or are we going to do something else? So, that's...
That's like so cool though that you got to like open multiple stores. Like that's very like a successful story. I feel like to do that and then to be able to sell it. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And it was just so we never took on any financial backing or anything. Nice. It was just her and I, and the whole story. We got denied by like 5 banks because at 25 years old you don't they won't take a car as like an asset. We didn't own a home, and we didn't want to ask family. We did have a little bit of property in Alabama that we were able to use as like collateral.
Right.
So we kicked it off and took that and kind of did the whole thing that way. Never really wanted to take on anything that was like, if we took out a $3 million loan, if everything went bad, well, this is going to take like 30 years to pay back.
Like we're screwed at that point.
Yes. So because of that, there was never this huge like, oh, now there's 100 stores. It was like, oh, we'll just slowly add on one as we can do it.
Right.
So on and so forth.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so pivoting, I know you've been doing some acoustic shows around town, and you said that your band's about to come in. You're about to do some full band shows. Can you tell us a little bit more about like the dynamic of your band?
Yeah. So it is ever changing, kind of. The drummer Jason's been with me since I started. So as a matter of fact, just to kind of give you a through line, he started working at Pie Bar when I just started playing guitar and I was doing open mics, and he was like, "Hey, if you ever need a drummer, I used to play in a band." So he came out, and then that's how Jason and I met in that capacity.
The pie to band pipeline.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and who knows where we'll go. We may go back into pie after this. Who knows? So Jason's been with me since the start, and then I've got a bass player, Davis, and I've got on this run with me a lead guitar player. His name is Nate, who's just started playing with me. Every now and then we'll do pedal steel. I love having pedal steel in the band, but those guys are a high commodity. So, and he's touring in Canada right now. So.
Oh wow! Dang, yeah, he's far away.
A little too far.
Well, and they're also opening for Ernest and some other guys. So, better
awesome.
Opportunities.
That's really cool.
Can't compete.
No, and I'm glad for him.
What's a memorable night you've had with your band in Texas?
Oh man, there's been a lot. I mean, as a matter of fact, last time we came through, we played here on a Wednesday night, and it may have been one of the better nights of the show, the run. And it wasn't like it was packed, but everybody that was here was engaged, and it was
a good turnout.
It was just one of those where we're playing songs and people are here supporting you and listening and being a part of it. So I'd say last year here at Riley's, and we we played White Horse on that run, which is always great. You know, people were there engaged too, but I don't know, it's just something about being here that night.
Yeah. And you're not biased because we're sitting in here right now.
No, not at all.
We're like, be honest. Speaking of your band, if somebody was to like have a documentary in the life of the Cody Bolden band, what do you think people would find out that they'd be surprised by?
What are the road hands up to every day?
Yeah. I don't know. You know, when you have members that kind of change around a little bit, that always introduces new dynamics. So, you know, there for a little while it was the same guys, and we kind of get into this routine. You know, we don't do anything that out of hand. You know, we like to be respectful and show up on time and do what we say we're going to do, and try not to be an asshole at the venue. You know, because that's not how you get invited back.
Yeah.
So we were all pretty professional in that standpoint. We don't get too out of hand. I will say, as we're growing to learn, Nate, the guy that's playing guitar, he's a big Jimmy Buffett guy. Okay. So the week before last, we did a Nashville, Chicago, Milwaukee run, and ended up at like a karaoke bar in Nashville, and Nate ripped it into like this Jimmy Buffett thing that went on for a while. So to be honest with you, I don't know, other than we're trying to get some Jimmy Buffett songs in the mix now, so we might be playing Boat Drink soon.
I love that. That's fun.
Yeah, that is good. Okay, so when you are recording original music, are you doing it at the same studio over in Georgia? Have you recorded different places? How has that process been like for you?
Yeah. So we're going, I just did some scratch tracks before I left, and then when we get back, we're going to start cutting this new record. I've settled when I first started, I got really lucky, and the guys I was playing with had like a basement studio. And to be honest, it wasn't, when you first start playing, you see pictures of people in the studio, you see these big grandiose studios, you're like, oh, this is awesome, right? And then you get down to the brass tacks on what you can afford, and you end up in somebody's basement somewhere.
That's so funny.
But that brings like the best music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it does, to be honest.
Like
so the first album,
trust in their basement.
Yeah. So we actually, the first basement we were in was where they cut Air Force Ones,
cool.
which is cool, a neat little thing, but it was just this dingy, moldy stuff falling off the walls basement. But you know, you could get good drum sounds in there. So the first one was there, and then there's a studio in Woodstock I like called Mad Life, which is the place that was built next door to Pie Bar when we opened, that kind of got me into that. So we're recording there. That's what we'll record when we come back, which is in Woodstock. And as it stands, you know, being that it's still just me and I get to make all the decisions, I like cutting all the stuff with the guys that play in the band, so I don't really hire like studio musicians. Cool. It's just all us. And
I love that.
You know, since I didn't grow up playing, usually I'll write a song and I've got a melody and a chord progression, but I don't really know what the drums should sound like, so I'll just come in and start playing it, and then those guys fill in, and it's more of a cohesive, collaborative effort. And you know, there's a lot of people that live where I'm at and will go to Nashville to do their recording and hire all those guys, and I'm pretty prideful about doing it right there where I'm at, because we're capable of the same stuff, and we're not trying to fit into this thing and this sound, because we're not going there using this equipment that whoever else used to get this thing. We're trying to just make what we're making.
Totally. Do you think that's like your favorite part about being an independent artist, is like the creativity part, that you get to fully, you know, kind of dictate what your sound is and what you want to put out and record?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, for me, I think, you know, a lot of people talk about authenticity, and you know, it's kind of a buzzword, but it does allow me to do what I want to do in the way that I want to do it. And if that's chasing stuff on TikTok, well, that's a decision I get to make. You know what I mean? It's not because somebody is telling me this is the lane you have to be in. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean, I would love to have a song sell to whoever, and I'm just sitting at home getting money in the mailbox, and I get to come and do this kind of stuff, and money is not an issue. You know, I get to. That's also, for me, you know, money is just a resource for freedom for me. So yes, but it allows me, whether it's good or bad, I get to make the decision on what it is. So that's my favorite part about it.
For those listening right now that haven't gotten a chance to hear your original music, what 2 or 3 songs would you suggest they listen to first that you feel like really embody your sound currently?
Good question. If I had to choose like 3 songs, I would say Lost the Top, which is just kind of this honky-tonk song about literally that. We lost the top to a whiskey bottle and we had to drink it all. So and then the like far side of that is Bad Man, which is a song I wrote about. I've got a cousin in Alabama who got in a fight with a man on top of this like desolate road, and he pushed him off the side of the mountain, and it killed the guy.
Wait,
Oh, wow.
this is true?
And then I just kind of took that and made it even worse. And yes, it's true. Yeah, he went to jail for it. We can talk about it.
Public knowledge. You're not spilling someone's dark secret on here.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think,
oh my God,
I think statute of limitations passed anyway. This has been some years ago. So I would say that, and then I don't know. You know, one of the songs I really like, which is kind of also a honky-tonk song, the first time we came out to Texas, the first show we played was Adair Saloon in Deep Ellum. And we had gone there. We played on a Monday, but we got in town on a Sunday. And, you know, we don't get Lone Star very often where we're at. Mm-hmm. So we were stoked on, like, oh, we're going to, you know, we're going to smoke some Lone Stars.
Yes.
And we stayed there so long that they ran out of Lone Star, at least they said, which to me seemed like a cardinal sin, right?
You're like, get these guys out.
Yeah,
of here.
I don't know if it was a sign for us to leave, but they did give us Miller Lite after that, so maybe they did. But anyway, I wrote this song. We drank the bar out of Lone Star beer. So that would probably be my third one.
That's great. And a lot of people around here could probably relate to that song.
Yeah, I'm sure
Lone
they
Star
could.
is a big hit around here.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you write? I know you said like a lot of those are based off of true stories. Are those mainly like all your songs based off your life experiences, or do you kind of create little stuff in your head, or is it mixed?
Yeah,
what do you more lean to?
Both. So most everything has some truth in there, you know, and then you kind of sneak in some other stuff to get it where it needs to go. But yeah, everything, you know, I guess the benefit of getting into music a little bit later is I have lived a little bit of life, and it gives you these experiences and things. And so yeah, there's that. And then here lately, so Lauren, my wife, also writes as well, and it's really helped me because I'll come with a melody and a pretty good idea of a song, and then she'll kind of sit with me, and then we'll just go through it. So I would say, you know, this year going into it full time, I'd kind of set a goal for the amount of songs I was trying to get done, just as a whatever. And we've written probably 6 or so in the last 3 weeks, so it's really kind of given me a little bit of that like motivation to keep at it as well.
That's really special.
That is really special that y'all get to do it together. What do you think like the, I guess, ratio would be? Like, how many songs do you write, and how many of them like are good, like that you want to like share?
Yeah, I write a lot. None of them are good.
That's not true.
No, that's I don't know, to be honest with you. I have come to terms with the fact that you do just write the song, even if it feels shitty while you're doing it. You just write the song, because for me, I'm always, if I don't just get it down, it's just this thing that's hung up and it's spinning around. And it may not be one that I ever play out, or I don't play out often. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's an easy answer to that, because I guess a good song is subjective.
True. I guess to you, like, do you ever like have just like all these songs that you're like, hey, I would never like record or release these?
Yes and no. I guess I don't crank out that many. You know, it's not. Some guys can write like 200 songs in a year. I'm not that guy. I might write like 15 or 20 or 30 songs in a year, so I kind of have to play them out.
Yeah. Like this I got.
Yes, but yeah, I mean, I would say 1 out of 10 is like, oh, that's, you know, there are sometimes you write a song and you're playing it back and you just kind of, you know, you feel it, you know, and it's just written that way, and yeah, so 1 out of 10 is probably like that song.
So on your next Texas run, do you have anyone or a couple of specific artists in Texas that you would love to song swap with or collaborate in some way?
Ooh, that's a good question too. Yes and no. So I do know some guys out here. I know, you know, the Rough Stock, and I met Jake and some of those guys before they came out. Cool. There was kind of a through line there through the guy that plays drums with me. He's a photographer as well, and he was working with Jake's cousin. And she was like, hey, I've got a cousin out there. So they all came when we played at Watering Hole Saloon last time. But no, I mean, I respect and appreciate what all these guys out here are doing. It also seems like every time I'm out here, which is around South by, it's like also a lot of people from where I'm at, like Nashville and Athens and all that are out here at the same time. But I would love an opportunity for it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be fun. There's like a lot of little songwriters nights, I feel like, every day of the week around here.
Yeah.
That would be fun to meet new people and possibly do that with.
Yeah.
What's a lesson that you've learned in the music industry that you would like to share?
I think music, especially at this level with the way I'm doing it, is a lot like a small business. So it's just do what you say you're going to do. I mean, being good is one thing. I think too, I've found that you can be really good and you may not make it, or you can be not as good and make it. That's just the breaks, and that's kind of what we all sign up for. I'm not sure which one of those sides I fall on, but I do know that, you know, when it comes to with dealing with venues or dealing with band members or dealing with anything else, it's just being a good, just do what you say you're going to do. So, like, you know, if I have a show here, I'm going to show up on time to make sure I'm sound checked. I don't get the guys that like blow it off and, you know, it's just too cool for it. It doesn't make sense to me. So
that's where you're getting your money.
Right. Like they're paying you to be there. And even if not, you're getting an opportunity to be there. Why are you doing this? Right. But treat it like that. I mean, it is a business. And I think too, even now with social media stuff like that is part of the business. I mean, if you want to excel and you don't have somebody doing it for you, you have to be active on Instagram and on TikTok and all the stuff, which is unfortunate, right? You know, all of us are like, oh, I'd rather just sit around and write songs. Well, of course, but that's not the job anymore. You know, the job is bigger than that. If you are doing all that stuff and you want to try and compete at this level, I guess, you know, it'd be the easiest thing. I think you have to treat it that way.
Yeah, I will say your Instagram presence is really great. You have a lot of good photography and like great quality videos that you use. Yeah. Is that like you and your wife doing that together? Is that someone that you hire on?
It's mostly Jason. So the guy that plays drums with me is the photographer. He does a lot of the stuff. And two, I bought a camera this past year, like a Fuji, that I'll go and I just take with me. I keep it in the van. That way, if I'm at a place or like in the parking lot here before I play a show, I'll, you know, whatever. Because it's important to have that kind of stuff, because for me, if I'm out watching somebody, I'm going to go look at their music, but I'm also just going to go to their Instagram and look and see where I can find. That's kind of like where I'm going, and then I'll go to their website from there. So for me, that's an important part of, you know, of everything else. You're selling it just like the rest. And, you know, I'm not courting a lot of record labels or anything, but what it seems like is outside of streams, they want to see somebody that already is doing all these things, and then they just want to take it and put their backing behind it. They don't want to come in. You don't really get like discovered anymore. I don't think that's really it's not like, you know, you're playing here at Riley's and somebody walks in and you have absolutely no presence and they're like, oh yeah, that's the guy, you know, we're going to take off. You kind of, you know, you need all that stuff.
That's a great point, because I mean, even if I didn't know you and I looked at your Instagram, I can already tell what your brand is. Like by the imagery of it, by like how your merch all ties together really well, and I feel like it fits your vibe. Like all of that is so cohesive that it's like, okay, this is who Cody Bolden is. Like, and I haven't even maybe seen him before. Right. So you do a great job at it.
Well, thank you. And you know, it is the self-promoting is just it's a tough thing to get over, but again, it's just that's part of the business.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do y'all have like a plan? Like, do you like map out your social media plan with videos, or do you just kind of like whatever happens works, you just put out? I
don't map it out, and I think for me it helps me with like the grossness of self-promotion. And I think it probably comes across more natural too, and I just do it, you know. I can feel like, I should probably post something, but it's not. I don't do a calendar on it and all. It's just kind of like, I'm going to be here. Now is a good time to put something up. So, no, I don't. Now, it's probably good for somebody that doesn't have that like awareness that hey, they should be promoting stuff. I will say, coming into it full time, I'm playing a lot more shows, and it also is part of my job to promote these shows. So. Totally. There is kind of that sense of like, if we're playing shows, that I do have an idea of like, I should be mentioning these things, but I don't map it out.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, kind of as we're wrapping up, I did want to congratulate you on being the person with probably the best podcasting voice that we've had as a guest.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Can you tell everyone listening where they can follow you online and buy some merch, all the things?
Yep. So Cody Bolden, just my name. CodyBolden.com. Instagram is at Cody Bolden. And you can find it all there. All the shows up through, I think, April are listed on the website. Merch is there. I use this company for merch that I don't even have to touch it. So if you order it online, they print it and they mail it to you. Nice. It's all there.
Cool.
And then you said you were recording. Do you have like a date that you're going to be releasing all that stuff?
Yeah, tentatively October, shooting for October. We haven't actually, so I've done scratch tracks for everything, but we're starting when I get back. And you got to give this runway up to make sure you can promote your release the way you want to promote it. So hopefully October. If I miss October, it's going to be first part of next year, but I'm shooting for October.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, excited. And is it an album or EP?
It'll be a full, it'll be
Full
probably
album?
10 songs, yeah.
Cool. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll be streaming it when it comes so we can promote it too.
Well,
then-
sorry, I didn't
No, go ahead. Keep
Secondly,
going.
I should, and hopefully this will all kind of tie in together. I'm planning to come back in October.
Oh, perfect.
So hopefully it'll be like right after that, and we'll have vinyl and all that cool stuff of that album.
Cool.
We'll see.
You should do like a little album release party here or something.
that'd be
Oh,
fun.
shoot.
Right? That'd be fun.
should.
Get it planned now. Jesse,
Yeah.
get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse, we're looking at you and talking to you. I'm just kidding.
And as we're signing off, I forgot one little question. What is a little piece of Georgia that you wish was like in the Texas scene for music?
Ooh, we do. Georgia is so diverse when it comes to music. And actually, I can't say that y'all aren't that diverse here. As a matter of fact, we went to Sam's Wednesday night or Thursday night, and there's just a funky. They had a horn section, just all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I appreciate that about the Georgia music scene. Although we don't have a huge country scene where I'm at, because I think it's our proximity to Nashville. I appreciate the diversity, but I can't say that y'all don't have it here. So I'm not even going to say. I'm not even going to say that.
But is it diversity of like different genres and then the diversity of genres like specifically probably Central Texas?
Yes. Yeah,
That's
for
really
sure.
cool. Yeah.
Because it is this melding. Because when I first started doing these open mics, there would be everything from somebody with a guitar to somebody coming in, rapping over like backing tracks and all that kind of
is
stuff. That's
kinda
all in the
cool.
same room at the same time, which is a little strange in the like cohesiveness, but also I come out of there with like, I don't know, a freshness of ideas based on something they did or what they said, which was a really neat thing.
True.
That's true. That's a good point. That's awesome. Well, thanks again for sitting down and talking with us. We'll come see your show tomorrow at the Villa because I missed the Riley's one, unfortunately, but I will be there on Sunday Funny tomorrow.
Perfect.
Except y'all don't show up because this will air after. So.
Yeah.
Alrighty, again, this has been the Twin Rivers Music Scene Podcast with your hosts, Madison and Reed, and our guest, Cody Bolden.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
No venue too far, any song at every bar. Here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.